Okay. So we are a few minutes in already, and so I have a bit of a structure around how this will go so that we can achieve as much as possible. So you would introduce yourself. Just tell me about you, your past, your present, what you currently do, what you're hoping to achieve in the future, let's say in 2023. Then I'll ask you some couple of questions. You can ask me questions as well. I'll review your CV and portfolio if you have it here. And then let's see what else. Then I will then tell you what next. Oh, by the way, I'm looking at your portfolio already. You actually submitted it, so yeah. But please go on.
Okay, well, my name is Feranmi. I know that Feranmi. I'm still a student of University of Lagos, my final year, and I'm a UI UX designer. I won't say product design yet because I don't think I've got into product design, but I'm a UI UX designer, and well, I think I started designing from 2019 during the lockdown, but that was graphic design. Then I think last year, yeah, I think last year, beginning of last year, someone just told me about product design. Last year, I can't exactly remember, and I, I think I had no idea what that was, and I just did my research, and all right, I could do that. Since I'm into the design sector already. So yes, I've been designing since then, and last year I just had a lot. I just did trainings last year. I trained myself. I used YouTube tutorial videos before I decided to attend some boot camps, and yeah, this year I've worked with a lot of people, although most of them were just volunteer, just add to your portfolio. I think I just worked on one major project for like 3 months. Yeah, and I'm currently working on another project at the moment, although it's contract, but so yeah, that's about me.
Okay. Thank you for that. So what are you hoping to achieve in the future? Let's say in 2023.
Okay, I want to be a better designer because I don't know, it just feels like I can actually do more, but like I don't know, okay, I feel like I should do more, but I don't know in what terms exactly. Is it okay? I need to work on my design or my networking or my putting myself out there. So like that was I need to achieve that next year. So
Okay. Okay. You want to be a better designer and be able to put yourself out there.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. So I'm just trying to take some notes. You mentioned something about a contract project that you're working on. Are
Yes.
you looking for jobs? Are you looking for permanent roles?
Yes, I am, but most times I apply, I'm always like I don't get feedback. I think I applied to like two different jobs and they gave me like an assessment to do in 3 days, a whole case study. I did that and till I think that was like around June until now, I've not heard anything. Like I literally sent a message back to them that okay, well, I've not gotten a response. I still didn't get anything, and I've gotten a sorry to inform you, sorry to inform you. So
Unfortunate emails.
yeah,
Excuse
yes,
me
like
for eating. I'm quite hungry.
no problem.
Okay, that's fine. Hmm. So I'm looking through your portfolio. So why do you think you've not been getting feedback from these companies?
Okay, I actually don't even know because I think I had to work on my CV. Yes, I had one before and it wasn't really detailed and something like that. Then I think someone said like a template on Twitter and I made use of that and I don't know, I still don't know maybe in my CV or my portfolio or I don't know. I can't even say okay, this is what the issue
Okay. So I'm looking at the project titled Way Express,
is. Okay.
mobile logistic application. Um, okay, so there are a couple of things that I think you could improve on. One is that I don't know why in case studies people write or document something called project overview. I don't understand it. The reason I don't is because a case study is supposed to be a documentation. I think I need to put out a content around this. A case study is supposed to be a documentation of your whole process from beginning to the end. That is, beginning being the problem to the end being the solution. But if in your project overview, you're already writing the solution there, then what's the point of reading your case study? Right? So you're supposed to take the reader through your thought process and your decision-making process from the very beginning to the end. So, but if you have a solution in mind from the beginning, because what I'm reading here says Whale Express is a logistics online application. How do you know it's going to be a logistics online application that enables packages to be picked up and delivered fast in a reliable way? Whale Express is helping sellers deliver packages to their end users faster. Sellers can select the riders and locations and monitor the package before it gets to the end user. You're spilling the beans already before you even started your project. So project overview, I don't know. I think the first thing that should be written is your problem statement. What's the problem you're trying to solve? That's just it. And it should be written from a problem point of view than a solution point of view, which means that you can say something like, sellers are having difficulties with delivering their customers' packages in good time, and just listing all the problems. Sometimes products could get damaged before they get to the customers. Well, that might be something. Some other times, products get missing, they don't even get delivered to customers, things like that. So you write it from that problem point of view rather than saying it enables the app is going to enable packages to be picked up and delivered fast in a reliable way, and then the solution. So that's the first thing I've noted. Then I know you have a section where you call the problem. So rather than having it there, move it all the way up. Rephrase it to be shorter than that. People don't read that much. Remember that when you send your application, the way they are reading your own is the way they're going to be reading several other people's, or maybe hundreds of other people's applications. So the hiring manager will probably not spend more than a few seconds looking at it, the first look, to look at it to be like, okay, do I want to have an interview with this person? That's just the decision they're trying to make. So you need to be like, if instead of having paragraphs, if you know you want to write a lot of stuff, you can use bullet points, or just keep your paragraph within 3 to 4 lines, shorten the whole thing. The whole part where you wrote, we need to help business owners have full confidence. It does not need to be in the problem. Get rid of it. The problem is the problem. Focus on the problem. The goal, again, the goal is basically the same thing as project overview. It's not necessary. You don't need to say the goal. Walk the reader through your process. So you have the problem. What next do you now do after you have the problem? You do research, right? So what's your research goal? What are the things you want to find out? Not the goal of the project, but the research goal. So so you need to clean up basically your portfolio. That part where the whole part, I also see this in a lot of people's portfolios, this design process thing, where people draw some diagrams, put some images and stuff. It's just a useless part of permit people calling it useless, but that's the only word that comes to mind. It's not useful. The reason is because how else are you going to do the project if not to empathize and define and do this and do that and then end up testing? There's no other way. So why are you putting it in your portfolio? It's just to fill up the space. I call it fluff. So get rid of it. The whole of that section with the whole description you put under it, everything, yank it out. It's not useful. Again, remember that the person reading will not spend more than a few seconds. So if you have filled it up with irrelevant stuff, they'll move on because they feel like they've seen it all. You just glance through, oh, okay, and they move on. Then moving on to your research part, you don't need paragraphs. You don't need 2 paragraphs of that. Just keep it as bullet points. User research, participants, how many people? Where are you going to find them? What do you want to achieve? So have like maybe 4 or 5 bullet points for participants, where you find them, what type of research you are going to do, survey or interviews or focus group or whatever. Through what channel? Is it going to be remote? Is it going to be carried out remote or face to face or by phone call? Whatever. Just put them as short bullet points. Then maybe on the other side, you can now say your research goals. What are things you want to achieve, right? Because I've not seen that here. You didn't write any research goal. You only talked about the result of your research. You need to write your goal. There needs to be a research plan before there's a research report. Research plan before research report. You have to plan for your research before you can report about it after you've done it. So that's something else that is missing. Then you have highlight 1, highlight 2, highlight 3. That you don't need to have it that way. It looks a bit, that's a bit amateur. Just have another section to say reports from research reports or something like that. But what is more important is evidence. I do not see any evidence of your research here. Research evidence meaning if you did a phone call or you did maybe like the way we're talking now, maybe an online conversation. Okay, I know it's probably going to be recorded. You can note it down that it was recorded. Maybe put a link to where the recordings are. But more importantly, screenshots of your analysis of your data. How did you arrive at this conclusion that most of the apps, okay, so you said, okay, you did, it seems you did competitor analysis. Okay, so you even have a lot of data here. You're supposed to separate them. If you say you created questionnaires, physical interviews, so you put it there, separate. That's a separate set of information. You should have a screenshot of where you analyzed your data, whether FigJam or Miro or whatever, whether using affinity map or I don't know what techniques that you might have used for this. So there should have been a screenshot of that. And then you put that there. Then for the competitor analysis that you did, so I can see that down here, competitive audits. So that should be up there before you even talk about personas. Personas are pulled out of the research you've done. But competitive audit is even before you can bring out persona. Like competitive audit is part of research. So it should be up. So you need to, there's some reorganization you need to do here. Personally, I don't think personas are a useful tool. But since you have it there, it's fine. But I don't use personas. I don't think I have ever used personas in any project, ever. And my reason for saying I think they are useless is because they are one of those tools that focuses so much on fictional character, right? Most of the things you would have in your personas are not actually as a result of the research you've done. So you have things like the age of the person, but whose age are you putting there? The family or the marital status, how much the person is earning, where the person is, but who is the person, right? So, I just don't put useless things in my stuff. So I think something that could be more useful would be maybe affinity map. You did an affinity map, or even depends on the kind of research you are doing. Like for your project, yeah, affinity map is good. Competitive audit, you have something there. That's fair enough. So also get rid of like extra stuff that I'm saying, like from the visual design point of view. That thing you're having at the edge of your pages to put the page number is not necessary. It just makes it feel, the whole design feel too busy. So all those things, just get rid of it. Keep the whole design simple. Even the thing in the background where you have like 2 circles, just keep it clean and simple, right? You're being tested mostly on your process. With a case study, you're being tested more on your thought process than your visual design, the visual design of your portfolio. Yeah, it is good to look good, but that's not the priority. Lo-fi. So the UI parts are fine. These are okay. In the end, I think, yeah, that is what I wanted to say. So I saw a page where it said i5 prototype screenshots, and you put a link, but you know already that nobody can actually copy and paste this link from this where is this? It's a screenshot. So I can't copy it. So since I can't copy it, how do you want me to see your portfolio, right? So think of another way. I don't know the tool you use. It looks like Notion. If it's Notion, maybe putting it as text somewhere so that you can copy it, or simply just make it a link. You can put it somewhere there and make it a link so that somebody can click through. Because do you expect me as a hiring manager to actually type https://figma.r? It will not happen. No. So, so like I used to tell my mentees, I say, when you want to create your portfolio, think of it as a product. Think of it as a product that you're building. Your portfolio, your CV, your products, and your target audience, your target users are hiring manager. So think of it that way. If you think of it that way, it will help you to create a good product, a good portfolio. So look at it from that angle. Yeah. So let me see. We're almost out of time, but let me glance through your resume. So when I clicked on resume from your portfolio page, I was expecting to just open the resume, but I'm having another page again to click on. So that's poor UX. From there, it should just take me straight to view your portfolio and your resume. But your resume is empty. It's empty. Oh,
Sorry?
it's loading. Oh, it's loading. Let me show you what I'm saying. But I don't think it's okay to present it that way. You see this? So from so from here, go back. Okay, so I clicked on my resume, and then I still have to click on resume here again, which is not okay. But when I even click on it, it opens like this, which is also not good. Your resume should just show as a full page. So this is not good. It also tells me that, oh, this person doesn't really know too much about UX. Meanwhile, it might not be true. So let it just be a full page. If you cannot achieve that in what's it called? In Notion, you can upload your resume on maybe Drive and link it to your Google Drive. But generally, I always recommend for people to get rid of the number of years of experience you have, unless if you've have achieved 5, 7, 10 years, or anything less than 5 years. I personally think it doesn't really give you an advantage, so to say. My design thinking process includes user research, sketching ideas. That's not design thinking process. You can say my design process. This thinking you put in the middle has confused all of us already, me included. So,
Alright.
okay, let's see. UI UX design tutor. Okay. Remote contract. I think this is good. Though, I think you should reword all of these bullet points to think of it from the point of view of impact document it from impact point of view rather than responsibility. When you say, let's say, designing a web app with Shopify platform, what exactly does that mean? What did you achieve with that? What was the point of that? So think of it more from impact. Explain what you mean. Don't let your explanation pass 2 lines, yeah. If you need to reduce all this, maybe you don't need all these 8 or 7 points. Maybe you just need 3 points so that you can flesh it out a bit, because you need to write, like you said, incorporated customer feedback, usage metrics, and usability findings into design. What were those metrics, for instance? Was it like it's a percentage of people were dropping off from a page and you improved it through your design? Something. I'm just using that as an example, but think of all of it from that point of view. Yeah, you are studying architecture. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Oh, wow. What's an architect looking for in product design?
Well, it's all design related.
Well, it is, yeah. Um, well, my father is an architect. Um, so
Oh, all right.
yeah, I'm a designer, so I was just teasing you. Of course, I understand that. Um, okay, so what I've been trying to do is diagnosis, like just trying to see how your past and present will achieve what you want in the future. You say you've been applying to roles, you've not been getting feedback, they've been ghosting you. But some of the reasons for that is some of what I've already discussed with you. Most of these jobs out there, the very first person that looks at it is usually a recruiter or an HR manager. It's after that person sorts through the pile of applications and puts certain people aside that then the hiring manager would then see it. So that's usually how, or the team lead, whatever, it depends on the company. That's usually how they do. What kind of companies have you been applying to?
Both Nigerian outside.
Okay, both Nigerian and foreign. Okay, so have you been using cover letters?
No.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, okay, that's fine. So, like I said, I'm just trying to do some diagnosis to also see if I can help you, because I know it's not everybody I can help. This is meant to be one of several other sessions, 4 sessions. There are 4 sessions that will be starting in January. A group session, very small group, between 5 to 10 people. And the focus will be on getting jobs, really. Things like what platform should you be on? How do you optimize your LinkedIn profile to attract recruiters to your DMs, for them to be sending you direct messages? Well, that's been my experience. How do you what's it called? Cover letters, very important. You say you don't use cover letters, but let me explain a bit about cover letter, right? Cover letter is like your voice in the room when you're not there. It's like what speaks for you. Remember when you drop in your application, you're not there to defend it. But your cover letter is like what speaks up for you. It's I made a post on my LinkedIn about that, I think yesterday. So you can go and check it out. Cover letters should have, there are certain elements that should be in a great cover letter, not the one that you Google and say, what should be in my cover letter? And they tell you introduce yourself. After introduce yourself, do this. Nah. I have a bit of a formula around that. So cover letter should be personable. It should speak about your personality. It should speak about your interest, but yes, your personality, and how all of this will bring more money to the company. That is what they care about. Even if it's a charity company, they still want more money to carry out the project. So how are you going to bring all of your experiences and I always focus, I hammer a lot on personality. And the reason is because the very first step in, especially international, the very first step is usually a culture fit. Usually a culture fit, no matter what they tell you, even if they tell you culture fit is the last stage, the first step is usually culture fit. And why it is culture fit is because when the recruiter or the hiring manager sifts through all the application, they are looking at the group of, they are judging you not based on your portfolio. They know almost nothing about portfolio. That at that point in time, they are really looking at portfolios. They are looking at your CV, yes, but cover letter if you have it, for those that submit cover letters. So they want to see, is this the kind of person this company, our company would be able to work with, stuff like that. So yeah, so I'll be assisting with cover letters, helping you review your CV, assisting you actually cleaning it up. The same thing for your portfolio. And depending on how proactive you are, like you've already been applying for jobs, I could assist with mock interviews. Then lastly, specializations in UX design. So as much as you might be a generalist in UX design, it's always good to have like an anchor, something that gets you going, because when the going gets tough, which it will, you need something to remind you that, oh, okay, this is why I am doing this, because I really love helping users.
Sorry, my net.
Yeah, I understand. I just sent you an email actually that I was waiting, but it's fine. So yeah, so basically I'll be assisting with that as well, which is like let me just do a short recap. The platforms that should be on optimizing your LinkedIn profile to attract more opportunities, helping you review your CV even more, assisting you cleaning it up. The same thing for portfolio. Um, helping you to craft a cover letter that is very effective, maybe one or two, or assisting you actually, not doing it for you. Mock interviews, assisting you to prepare for interviews, and then specializations, assisting you choosing a niche. So I was talking about specializations before you dropped off, which is that it's important to kind of have like an anchor that reminds you of why you're doing this, for so that when things are tough, you just have something to remind you, like, okay, I'm doing this because I love helping users through maybe research, or I enjoy UI design, or whatever, depends on you. And yeah, so those are things that we'll be achieving. It will not be a session where I'll be teaching the basics of product design. I would not be teaching any of those. It will not be a core teaching program. It's more coaching you for getting mostly international jobs. That's my focus. And then I also will not be doing it for you. You will not see me telling you I will do your CV for you or your portfolio for you, or no, none of that. I'll be assisting you. I'll be giving you pointers. I'll also be available for feedback and things like that. So it's not going to be paid. It's not going to be free. It's a paid session. There'll be 4 sessions, and most likely starting first week in January, either first or second week in January. And it's cost £100. I'm now not sure what it is in Naira. But it's £100, probably like $120 or so, maybe. I don't know what that is, maybe 90K or 80 something K. The exchange rate is fluctuating. So yeah, and that will be for all the sessions, not per session. Somebody asked me, is it each session that costs that? No, it's not each session, it's all the sessions. And I will send you an email with some of what we've discussed and what the next steps would be, payment information and stuff like that. But in that email, you'll see a deadline for payments. Today is Friday, the 23rd, and the deadline says 24th of December, Saturday, which is tomorrow. Fortunately or unfortunately, we are only just having our session right now, but this deadline has been fixed for a few weeks since the session started. Now, while there's already a deadline, to be honest, I've gotten 1 or 2 people asking me for extension to next week, which I most likely will grant. So I'll probably send another email about that, but it will only be for people that specifically ask for it. So it's an individual basis thing, or somebody, 1 or 2 other people asked for like a payment plan-ish thing. But again, it's a one-on-one conversation, is if you're interested. So I think that is it. So do you have any questions? I know we're out of time, but let me hear if you have questions for me.
No, I don't.
Oh, awesome. Okay. I think I covered a lot of stuff. So
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, so yeah. Oh, I didn't mention the reason I actually put a deadline for payment is because I'd actually prefer for everyone to show their commitments this week. Because between now and when we start the program, there are certain things I will send for you to do. Some of which I've told you already, some amendments you need to make to your portfolio and your CV, because it will be better if you're prepared with those before you come for the session than for us to start from that part, so that you can achieve as much as possible. My goal is that by the time we are done with the program, you'll be completely armed to get the job you want, or even might have even gotten one or two offers. That is the goal. But it totally depends on how proactive you are, how much you push. Is the level to which you push that or you pull that you gain. So yeah, so that's that. Okay, so should I expect to see you in January?
yeah. I will get back to you,
Okay, that
but
is
most likely.
most likely. All right, so I will send you the email today,
All
probably
right.
for afternoon or so. So let me know when you get the email. If it's something, you check your pockets, you check your everybody's pocket around you. Check also check your time commitment, which I think is
All
even
right.
more important. And then if you think it's something that you can commit to, then please let me know before tomorrow's end of day deadline, so that and then tell me when you think you'll be able to commit if you want to. And yeah, so that'll be it. Look forward to the email, and I look forward to reading back from you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.